We're gonna have fun and talk about Rad.
She is crack it, rip it and crack it, rip it and crack it.
What are we all drinking our spicy waters?
Well, I don't know. See, I'm. You got your Bishop.
Ding.
See, and I got myself a cocktail from my Rainforest Cafe glass that we.
I should have got my Rainforest Cafe.
And there she goes.
She's away.
So now we're waiting on her to come back.
As Courtney is taking off to go get her glass, welcome to Cult Cinema Catacombs, folks.
Yeah.
For those who are not seeing this, she just like took off like a fart in the dust, and now she's got her glass.
I have some ASMR for you.
Oh. Ooh,
that's just peeing.
I was gonna say that's the sound of peeing.
It looks a little like pee.
Ooh, yeah. That's if you're
dehydrated. Like unhealthy pee.
Yeah, if you're diabetic, you should probably have that checked out, Courtney.
So we're here to talk about a few things. We're here to talk about because
the Rainforest Cafe.
Yes, we're here to talk about Rad from the 80s because Courtney just saw it for the first time and
yes,
I revisited it. Andrew also recommended to us to watch something on Netflix that is a lot of fun that we're going to cover also, The Bash Brothers.
Lovely palate cleanser that we deserved. We've had a rough couple of months.
And we're going to reveal which documentaries we're going to be watching for Documentary Month. And then I'm also going to choose the 3 films we're going to watch in July. I've got those up and lock and loaded, ready to go.
Shit.
Oh, yes.
I do want to say I'm going to challenge the notion that it was a palate cleanser when the time comes.
Okay.
I'm going to challenge your.
I mean, I loved it. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. I loved it.
I mean, we all love it. Nothing we
watched
this month was not because. Yeah, Roy was going to be absent this month, so we weren't going to do it. Or we already had done.
God, oh Jesus, are you okay?
My mic just fell into the.
Please tell me you've named your mic Iceman. Because he's
it's like so Ariana Grande holding on to a potato is what it looks like right now.
We're just going to do that with it.
If you know, you know. So, look at the way he's cradling it. For those who can't see it, he's cradling it. Like, yeah, what a lovely tea party.
No, we weren't supposed to be doing anything, and then we decided that they were showing Rad as a Fathom event, and we were like, well, we're going to do that.
Guess what we're doing?
Not going to do that. And I was like, oh, I was driving down the road, and I was like, and it just jumped into my brain, if it wouldn't have been for Velvet Goldmine, what my unconventional musical was the Bash Brothers experience. So I was like, we need to do that. It's only like 30 minutes long. So here we are.
I love it. Tell us what led you to this, Andy.
Yes. As we sip out of our Souvenir glasses from the Rainforest Cafe.
I feel like I'm being interviewed for a job at the Rainforest Cafe.
Were you silent or were you silent? Oh shit! Do we have a slide whistle now?
No, yeah, I have a melody pop.
The freaking melody pops. My kids love those things.
He's got a soundboard. Candy from 1992.
Oh yeah. So as Andy's describing this, I'm going to be sucking on a succulent.
What am I supposed to be talking about?
I was just wondering what made you pick this as opposed to any other unconventional musical. Why was this going to be like? I'm just trying to get to know
love Velvet Goldmine.
You're my friend, and I just want to know more about you.
It was longer. Is my answer.
It was longer. That's fair. This was only about 30 minutes.
It was longer, and it was queerer, maybe.
That's a toss-up. It's only a little queerer.
Yeah, it's not much. You're more explicitly.
It's just like the blush and then the Barbie sex, and like that's it.
Yeah.
So I will say,
you get some scenes in Bash Brothers that they're teetering.
I think
They like
our
to-
boys are aware of it.
They like to lift women. They do not have sex with a woman in the entire thing.
Well, no, that's because they told the women told them that we don't have sex with baseball players.
Jenny Slate's so good in it.
Everybody is amazing.
I want to say right now, first and foremost, that it was very odd to hear them name check the mall I worked at in the 90s, where they're like, we're going to go get our pagers at Hilltop Mall. And I'm like, holy shit. And then when they're showing the images of the interior of Hilltop Mall, I'm just like, it never looked like that. It never looked like Gadzooks blew up all over the place.
It
was
did
more
look like
sterile looking than that.
As a former very frequent shopper at Gadzooks.
Who was it?
But
I mean,
it
I was in the
so
5th grade in
odd
1998, so.
It was so odd hearing that. And it also, at the same time, it made me think, okay, you guys lived in Oakland, which is about, to drive from Oakland to Richmond, California, where Hilltop Mall was, would be like the equivalent of me here living in Irving, driving all the way out to Frisco.
It's like across the metro area.
But and the thing is there were 3 malls in the Oakland area during this time.
But they had a
one.
flying Lamborghini.
They
True.
did. So it
They
takes them no
established that.
time, first of all. Second of all, I assume that malls in California are much like Chili's in the DFW area, where there's always a good one. No, let's not go to that Chili's. Let's go to the good Chili's.
See, in Hilltop Mall, I mean, there was a mall in Concord, California called Sun Valley Mall that was better than Hilltop Mall. So I'm surprised they didn't check that, but they went with Hilltop instead. But then again, Hilltop Mall at the time of the Bash Brothers was known for being where you would, if you didn't go to Beeper City in Berkeley, California, you went to Hilltop Mall to Beeper's Emporium.
Okay. I'm learning a lot about beepers and where to get them.
That's information that you will absolutely use later.
Real quick.
Just like my theater degree.
I'll have to see if I can find a commercial, one of the homemade commercials for you guys, and send it to you that they used to do in the Bay Area for Beeper City, starring the superhero Beeper Man.
Nice.
With cape and everything.
I want to say we had one too.
Wow.
I want to say we had one too. Maybe it was one of those things that was like, we'll copy, how local commercials will copy markets, and it just goes and it ends up being just slightly different in every market. I do want to say that the Bash Brothers experience proves that the universe is beautiful and unfair and destructive at the same time, because the line "shake 4 halves of butt" appears, and the fact that it is the perfect, there's nothing funnier.
Shake 4 halves of butt.
2 people have 4 halves of butt. Who? It's a testament to the genius.
That's the genius
and the majesty
of
of humanity and our ability to overcome any obstacle when we work hard enough. That line exists.
I want to
and
say
the fact that we haven't acknowledged it as a society as the funniest thing that's ever been created proves that there's no justice in this world.
Between that and I'm Mark. Those are
that whole moment nailed it, because Andy Samberg nailed the ego of Jose Canseco, and then I can't remember his name, the other guy,
Mark McGuire.
He nailed how boring Mark McGuire
was also there.
And that's the way it was. Every interview, they were there. They're huge, giant men, just
huge
titans.
Not only in the statue of their career, but physically also thanks to the
gigantic.
Literal, like one of them was the tornado. It was the Titans, like the actual Greek.
Yeah.
Mark McGuire had 2 versions of my neck,
and they would have these interviews, and basically he would just say, "I'm Mark." Like that's all. That was the extent.
While chewing gum. Yeah.
Always chewing gum. They
I'm
were
sorry.
everywhere.
Sitting
They're
there
very
like
distracted.
this because he can't fold his arms.
They can't put their arms down. Sorry if there's noise that's going to start coming through. There's like a huge storm hitting like on my house right now.
Oh, is it finally here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
But
yeah.
no,
And they
I
were-
really have no notes on the Bash Brothers because they just, I mean, the way they nailed the absurdity of that whole entire time period, especially when Jose Canseco decided to turn turncoat and narc on everybody.
I do love this is a beautiful transition piece between our unconventional musical month and our documentary month.
It really
because
is.
They really stuck to the facts on this. They did a
Mhm.
really good job. Historians, and I know this. You guys know me. I'm a big sports head. I love everything about baseball. I know it
You're
all.
baseball.
Bases.
Yeah.
There's running.
Mm-hmm.
There's slide whistles.
There's sliding.
When you're coming around third, going to home, there's that.
There's the
Been
slide.
there for 30 years. The slide whistle noise that they play.
Mhm.
There's hot dogs,
Mhm.
There are
So-
beepers,
beepers.
I mean, we don't,
silk robes, and kimonos.
I
Yep.
don't have to. I don't have to justify me being an expert in this. I'm sports.
No,
we know
it's
that.
well known. It's
Mhm.
well
I'm
known.
sports, and it's all really accurate.
So, Courtney, what was your response to seeing Sterling K. Brown as Sia?
I loved it. At first, the dissonance was such that we didn't necessarily recognize him because we were trying to put a musician in there. And I was like, that's someone. What musician? That's not a musician. That's not, who is it? And then it hit both producer Craig and me at the same time. We were like, oh my God. It was about maybe 15, 20 seconds after he appeared the first time for us
Sterling
to
K.
go,
Brown.
who is that? Oh shit. We know who it is.
And then you've got Maya Rudolph and Haim.
Mm.
You know,
The best
Is
song
that
ever
what that was?
recorded.
That's
In
what
my,
the other one was?
shake your ass.
Yeah.
Shake your ass.
Aggressive.
I really like. Yeah, I really. The thing about that song that I love the most, and it might be one of my favorite novelty
I think it's
songs.
probably my favorite
is
one.
my favorite novelty song. Is at the end when they're threatening him to shake his ass and they're backing off.
So close to him, just like zooming in.
You're like, what are you doing?
Shake your ass. Shake your ass. Shake your ass.
I do think Charlize Theron is in this. There is a scene earlier than that, one of the earlier songs, where he's on a chain link fence on the street and there's a girl with him. I am not unconvinced that that's Charlize Theron. I've watched it now like 3 or 4 times, and every time I'm
It
like,
could be.
I don't know who else that could be.
It's the sort of thing that she would say yes to because
Mhm.
she's cool.
It's the sort of thing she would say yes to Lorne Michaels for.
Yeah.
She
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how'd
And
they
then-
get Haim for a night? Just like, hey, Haim,
Oh,
you
hey,
just
are
were the
y'all
musical
in
guest on
Haim would be
SNL.
like, sure, why not? You know. But what
I'm
I
doing this
loved
thing.
also is that in the closing credits they bring in Joe Montana
Yeah.
and have it got he
God, it
nailed
was so funny.
he nailed how white Joe Montana was. I'm Joe Montana.
It was the classic old school hip hop. Joe Montana, and I'm here to say
Mhm.
that I play football in a major way. And it was only a little better than that.
Yeah.
If you have
I loved it.
not seen the Bash Brothers experience from Lonely Island,
Perfect. It's beautiful.
you gotta. It's hilarious.
Highly
I'm not
recommend.
unconvinced that he didn't die in that car wreck, and the rest of it is just his descent into purgatory.
Mhm.
I'm
I think
I'm
that's
working
fair.
on that theory right now.
I mean, we saw
like
the
that.
Tree of Life. You know,
I mean,
we saw him
the Tree of
die.
Life and we saw the Tree of Life get dead. So
We did. And
We saw
on
him
that note, I
die.
think my favorite part is well, 2. I'm tied. One is the almost philosophical transitions. They're
Mhm.
very, very close to philosophy, but they're not there. And
French
also how many-
Impressionism, but it's like French Canadian Impressionism.
very that, yes. And then my other thing that was my favorite was how many times they rhymed baseball with baseball.
That's a Lonely Island. That's a
It's classic.
trademark.
yeah,
That is the stamp of approval. Yes.
That was very good. I loved it. No notes.
No,
So
I
we
literally
watched
didn't take notes.
Yeah, so
Didn't need to.
4 notes, and I said them all.
So we go from that to a movie that we really needed to take notes on, which was the 80s movie Rad, which
Oh, he got his notebook out. I left mine in the car. I'm so mad.
but
Oh, no.
her running commentary through the whole film was just spotless.
I just kept it was
Courtney, I just found this out from Andy earlier today. The original title for Rad is Balls Out.
And the cop,
They did have
right
the-
before he arrests, looks him dead in the eye and goes, "Go balls out,"
balls
which
out.
would have been the title.
He would have said the thing.
He
Yeah.
would have said the thing.
They took
They
that
say
away.
rad a million times, so
do.
it doesn't count.
No.
No.
So before Courtney and I saw it, because we got to talk about our theater experiences also.
We did. This was a full
Yes.
experience. It was lovely. And we had very different theater experiences, is my
Yes.
understanding.
Yes.
Because Courtney and I, we decided, since we're at Grapevine Mills, and Grapevine Mills is a tourist trap, we're going to go to the Rainforest Cafe.
It was delightful. I had a
and-
margarita in a hurricane glass.
Yeah, so did I. And then I had a shrimp platter that was $29.99.
I did. I had a coconut shrimp basket that was $25, and I felt
That's a
pretty
lot
bad
of
all
money
day Friday.
for to
and
get
then-
catcalled by an animatronic orangutan. That is a lot of money for that.
Yeah, I had a gorilla behind me, and she had an
That's not a
iguana
metaphor.
next to you.
Oh, we need to put that on the Facebook page. We need to put the pictures of us.
Are you kidding? That's going to be the photo for this episode. Are you
It's-
kidding?
Is me and the iguana, or you and the orangutan, or
You
the
with
gorilla?
you with the iguana. That's the photo for this episode. And then also we also bought queso with chips, but this wasn't the traditional queso that is Velveeta with Rotel. This was Cheese Whiz with a little whisper kiss of paste picante salsa on top.
It was fine. What am I, the
It was
Pope?
fine. Fine.
It's $12. This
It
was
was
such a
$12.
this place was such a tourist trap. It took about 30 minutes for us to get our food.
First of all, they all seemed a little confused that it was just 2 adults.
Yeah, and not a family.
They were like, I felt like they were trying to decide if we were on a date or what we were doing.
These 2 non-binary looking people suddenly coming into the Rainforest Cafe to enjoy the food while every few minutes a rainstorm happens and all the animals are going nuts. While at the same time, we're hearing Taylor Swift playing in the Rainforest Cafe. And then if that was not enough, we're close to the door for the kitchen and we're hearing crash, bang, bang, clash, clash all over the place. So we have a symphony of animal sounds,
I would call it a
Rainforest
cacophony, I
sound.
guess.
kitchen sounds, and Taylor Swift.
Andy,
How many
question?
people were there
Kind
besides
of a
you?
lot.
It was full. There were so many people. We had to be put on a wait list.
Who
Yeah,
like-
we walked
goes?
around for 20 minutes. Like,
Who goes? That isn't going there. Ironically, which let's be honest, you went there ironically.
We went there
ironically,
ironically,
100%.
but people were there for like. We had a family right behind us that brought their precious little baby
Like a
girl,
baby.
baby,
And they sat her right next to the gorillas.
to the fucking gorilla.
And they
and
kept
when-
saying, "Oh, look, it's the monkeys! It's the monkeys!" And I
when
kept
the
going,
rain-
"Apes,
but
apes."
when the
Do you think
rainstorm
they were
hit,
trying to get her Harambe?
I think.
well, when the rainstorm hit and the lightning crashed, which is just like boom, boom, and it goes off.
It is loud.
Add to all the sounds that we were describing. Now add to that the sound of a baby screaming its fucking lungs off.
Sure.
And
She
we're
kept
like,
Together pretty good considering.
so it was quite
Admirable.
the experience.
It was
Quite-
wild. Coconut shrimp was fine.
It was fine. Food was fine.
Good. Good.
But you know what was not fine was the fact that there's a fucking Build-A-Bear workshop now in the dead center of the gift shop of a
Inside
Rainforest
it.
Cafe.
Like a
And-
whole working.
Yes,
functional-
like this guy,
And-
and then
and-
the machine, and he was just like,
Yeah, he was bored, just kicking it there.
Like a surly docksman.
And the base price now for the bears at Build-A-Bear Workshop start at $30.
It's a
I
lot.
remember when those fucking bears were like $15 or something, and now it's like a basic pink teddy bear, 30 fucking bucks.
Thanks a lot, Biden.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Harambe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Harambe. You
So
really
after that, we walk over to the Grapevine Mills
we
AMC.
got to walk
go see the
through a
movie.
Forever 21.
Yes,
You do. That's the weirdest thing about that mall. I swear to you.
You have
Anywhere
to
you want to
through
get to, you have to go
Betty,
through the liminal space of a Forever 21 to get to the other side of.
90s
Very
Betty Boop
few.
T-shirts were on the rack.
Oh yeah.
It is
For sure.
1994. We fell into a time loop. We are inventing the podcast right now
We are.
because it is
The-
1994.
This is being broadcast on ham radio.
It's really wild.
I'm still in
Destiny's-
2024.
The
I don't know how we're doing this. I don't know
It's
how
still-
this is working.
It's
I
the
like
movie. It's the movie Frequency, is what it is.
Oh,
is.
okay. Are you Jim Caviezel or am I Jim Caviezel?
You're Jim Caviezel.
God
we're
damn
both.
it.
We're
I'm
both
always
Jim-
Jim Caviezel. You
Man,
sons of
can
bitch.
somebody else be Jim Caviezel once?
Yeah.
You know what else we walked by?
I don't even like QAnon.
We also walked by the Destiny's Child denim outfits.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
they
They had
wore
like
at one
little
point with the
little,
little
teeny distress marks,
yes,
but like all over them.
and glitter boots, glitter cowboy boots.
We came very close to buying some glitter cowboy boots and sending them to you, but I didn't think we could figure out how to get your shoe size without spoiling the surprise.
We were going to send that to you with a copy of Cowboy Cotter.
You think, let me just be clear about, in all of the probably safely 70 to 80 messages that are sent through our group chat a day. And that's not I'm not exploding that number. That's
probably
probably
accurate.
In any given time, there are 4 conversations, 4 different topics that are being talked about. You think at any point in there, you could have been like, hey, Andy, what's your shoe size? And I would have thought, oh, shit, they're in Grapevine Mills. They're going to give me those rhinestone cowboy boots this time.
Oh, and they were blue.
They were blue and very glittery. They would have gone really
very
great with the
fucking
shirt
pissed
that you're
off.
wearing.
And they had that
You
wrinkled
didn't
look
buy
to
them,
it.
that you didn't just Hail Mary a shoe size and send them to me. I'd have made it work.
Listen, I work pretty close to the Grapevine Mills Mall. I don't live that close to it,
Sure.
but I work pretty close.
So
I can go back to Forever 21 is what I'm saying.
So
I'm
you
going
had-
there tomorrow anyway.
Oh, well, you should probably look at those boots.
That
so you
those
had- you-
those
you had a
denim.
full-
What?
You had a full audience for yours.
There were only
Yeah, tell
3
us your
seats
audience.
unattended in the entire theater. It was
We
a
had-
111 seat theater, and
We-
107 or
Wow.
108 of those were.
They put it in a 300 fucking seat theater for us,
One of the big ones.
and it was a total of 18 of us in there.
Was it really 18? It felt like fewer.
And even when we went to go buy the tickets, we're like, "Yeah, we need tickets for Rad." The woman at the register was like, "Rad?"
She was like, okay.
Are we doing that?
And then she
That's
finds,
what
she's
it
like,
looked like. She
"Oh
went,
yeah, there it is."
She said something like she guessed what we were gonna watch because apparently everybody else was going to see. Was it? I don't know. Was it Ghostbusters? I don't know what it was.
Ghostbusters.
She was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Ghostbusters." We're like, no, Rad." And she was like,
She became
Oh,
the
yeah,
Chick-fil-A
yeah.
girl all of a sudden. She's like,
Yeah.
"Eh?"
You don't have any sauce? That girl?
we were in front of 2 people who we later found out were extremely high.
Oh yeah.
Like the kind of high where like your face is red and streaks down past your face. It's like
Yeah.
the TV high.
You crossed the cross Rubicon into ridiculously high. Like
And they
after school
apologized.
special high.
Yeah. They
I loved
apologized.
us.
They were like, "We're sorry if we bothered you." And we're like, "Are you fucking kidding? We got our own running commentary going on here."
I was like, I didn't even know y'all said anything. I was too busy talking through half
That's
of
great.
it and making
I
Roy do
didn't.
this. He was going whenever
Oh
I would
god,
say,
I was just giggling the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, why am I not recording this? Is what I was thinking in my head.
there
the
was a
entire
part of me that
time.
was like, should we just put the voice memo on and then just like sift through?
Especially the part when they started dancing the Sparks and they came out in those matching
Oh
uniforms.
my
which,
god.
by the way, I found out from
They're from V.
Yeah, they're from V.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No,
I'm just
no, it
amazed.
was beautiful. I liked it. It was
Yeah,
quirky.
it was from V. and
I believe I said, "Why are they dressed like Mork from Orc?"
I did too. I did, but I was like, oh. But I said it about Lori Loughlin in her mongoose jumpsuit.
Also, that I
Oh,
liked that hers
sexy mongoose
had like a
outfit?
titty window. Everybody
Yeah.
else's came up here for protection, but hers were like, "Look."
Yeah.
Look, I'm Lori Loughlin.
Well, they won't let her race in the
I-
hell
I-
track.
They never really explain why they wouldn't
No.
let her.
No. Also,
They just said
why
they
I
wouldn't-
think her name was Kathy.
Christian.
No,
No, the other person.
girl.
The other girl is Becky. Why do I know
Becky.
this?
Of
Why
course
am
you-
I?
it's
Why am
Becky.
I an expert on the movie Rat?
Because you just pulled that out of there. But there's no reason that
Lori
Becky
Loughlin's
shouldn't have been able to
character's
race, right?
Lori Loughlin's character's name is Christian.
Yes.
There were multiple like boy names as girl names in this movie.
Yes.
Because the sister
Yeah.
is Wesley, not Leslie.
And it's Wesley.
Wesley.
It's not short for anything. It's straight up Wesley.
Yeah.
Get this brilliant naming. So, Olympic gold medalist turned actor Bart Connor. His name in the movie, Bart Taylor.
Well,
Art.
but he wasn't an actor, so when somebody said Bart, he was going to look.
yeah,
Like he wasn't. He needed that.
They-
The behind the scenes interviewed Bart, and he was like, "Well, I won all those gold medals. I was looking for something to do, and then this movie."
I was bored.
that was the reason he was in the movie. That's it. Like,
I love though how Courtney the entire time you're like, why don't they just let that little gay boy live his life?
Just let little gay Bart Taylor live his life. Let him be gay. It's okay to be gay.
he doesn't really.
Come off as straight.
Well, first of all, yes, but he doesn't really show. He's got these stereotypical 80s bad girls that they're going to throw in any movie, whether it's
I
Karate
loved
Kid.
it. They
or-
came right off a White Snake hood.
They did. They came sliding off the hood of an IROC Z and into this movie.
They really did.
They were Tawny Katang all over
Yeah.
the place.
He had no real interest in them
No.
at all.
Gay.
Ooh, gay.
He had some interest in Christian, but not really.
He wanted her outfit.
He wanted her outfit, and he was very, very interested in the twins.
Oh, I do want to say about the twins. I
The
just
best
wanted to
characters
reach
in the
out.
movie.
If you're watching this, thank you, Michael Ian Black, for allowing your
Mhm.
face to be applied to those twins for the entire movie.
They do look exactly like Michael Ian
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
So I think if you had your notebook with you during the entire time, based on your just full-on reactions to the sequence, I think the scene that Courtney would have had the most notes for was during Bike Boogie.
I loved it. I think it was
Espe-
fantastic. And I do have a theory about this, and this is a beautiful time to bring it up. I am 100% convinced that Lori Loughlin can't ride a bike. Like 100%
You were
convinced.
saying that throughout the whole film, and the audience was agreeing with you.
I
This is
want
what
you.
I love.
Yeah, I started saying it louder and louder, and people started laughing. And I was like, that woman can't ride a bike. Because there is not a single scene in this movie where she is on a moving bike and also her face is in the shot.
She can't ride a bike,
Not
but
in the whole movie.
she can butt slide, and she can give college advice.
She can
Well,
get-
I have the most notes on college advice because if there's anyone that should be giving college advice about how and when to take your SATs, also how to cheat on your homework to help a local boy make good, it's definitely Lori Loughlin, right?
Definitely Lori Loughlin.
Nose clean, Lori Loughlin when it comes to anything collegiate. Just get out there, not pressing it
And-
at all.
And I know I'm usually the person for our beautiful audience. I'm usually the person who's like, let's take this plot beat by beat. And we didn't do that with Bash Brothers because there's not a plot. And we can't do that here because there's also kind of not a plot. Like there is. But we just have to talk about the things that happened.
Don't you walk away. Don't you? Oh, you made a mistake.
Oh, you made a really big. Ooh, you're gonna.
So my first note, my first beat, if we're gonna
Yes,
kind of
yes,
try to
go-
go beat by beat, in this, where was this town?
It's
Canada?
supposed to be in California, but it was filmed in fucking Canada.
Sure. But it
It
was
felt
rural
like Canada.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody in this town had a problem during the late 80s with a thing called the Hell Track during the Satanic Panic.
Right.
They just let that go.
No one was like,
That
what
woman
are
got
we
up
You
at
know,
the
you
beginning.
want to know why? You want to know why? Because Dungeons and Dragons was never sponsored by 7-Eleven.
Yeah. Or
Hell
Kicks.
Track was sponsored by 7-Eleven and Kicks because they wanted to make sure you knew they were sponsored by Kicks because one of the obstacles in Hell Track is a fucking giant cereal bowl filled with Kicks,
It
and
is.
you have to dive
did
into it
notice
and
that.
drive up the spoon.
Yeah.
And they were eating Kicks in more than
Yeah.
one scene.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in the my next note, which is, did they just find a house to squat in?
I don't know. Why
With
is there a house
power?
in a lumber yard?
Just a house. And they apparently have a fairly permanent residence there. There's shits all over the place. They got power.
They're able to plug in a boombox and stuff.
I also love that when him and Lori Loughlin are driving down like one of the most, which is supposed to be scenic California, but it's neither. And
It's like the
like
video
that.
for Allentown by Billy Joel.
I mean, it looks like something on the outskirts of one of the refinery towns in California. And she's like, oh, this is beautiful country. I'm like, where's the fucking beauty in this scene?
No, she was looking out a window at a lumber yard and she was like, it's so beautiful. And I was like,
Roy, I want you to try to find something or isolate something in the movie. They have a parade
Yeah.
where they bring,
Very
once
small
they
parade.
agree, once they know that they're having the cell track race and it is upon us, they bring
Man, that-
all of the writer. Yeah, this movie happens.
This
Fast
parade is
forward,
wonderful.
no.
You got a great parade here.
This is another movie where time has no meaning.
yeah,
'Cause
I
it
mean,
could
it
be
does
like
explain why
4
they have no floats.
Or it could be 3 days. We don't know. So
Well, yeah, I mean, it had to go an extra day because that woman had a cake to bake, so she had to
Well-
interrupt the parade.
yes.
We're going to
Find
get the
that-
cake lady.
Find that scene. Just the part where he moves the barricade because she said it's un-American
Yes.
to have a parade where she can't
So
bake her cake,
un-American.
Karen. So isolate that scene. The first scene where Clue sees Christian. He looks like he just saw a deer get hit by an 18-wheeler. His face is amazing. Please find that and drop it somewhere in our feeds.
Yeah, why is it not
And
all of
her
our
face-
background?
I think her face is just reacting to the faces he's making.
She's just like,
She's like confused, and he's like,
Well, he gives the same face after she jumps over him in the bike and invites him to, bike boogie with her. And he's
"This
like,
kid should be in jail."
me, da. And then when they go to bike, let us jump to bike boogie
Well,
because when they jump to
before
bike
we
boogie,
get to that, this is very short. Can
Yeah.
we talk for just a moment about how he looks exactly like Tony Danza?
yes,
A little bit like a thinner Tony Danza.
Yeah,
like a
like
thinner in the
young.
face.
let's real quick talk about the whole family. So he looks like a thin Tony Danza. His sister's foul-mouthed Punky Brewster.
Yeah,
I
for
liked
sure.
that. I liked her.
And then they made Talia Shire look like the most frumpiest mom you can think of.
They were
She's just-
trying really hard.
I mean, they went from like, okay, let's take the way she looked like Adrian in the first Rocky movie and make her frumpier. I mean,
on.
they did her dirty in that movie. It's like she was in Rocky. She was in the Godfather saga. And then they do this to her.
Well, my thing about that character in this movie, in any other movie that's like this, the kid defies the parents to go follow his dreams. The
Mhm.
parents push back,
Mhm.
but eventually they come to support their child in his endeavors.
Now, I'm on single mom's side on this because if this is like 3 days, she already paid for him to take the SAT, and I'd be kind of pissed if he just didn't show because it was like $60 for me to take the SAT.
Yeah, but he Ferris Buellered his way into like $1,450 or $10,450 in that
And a
2
Corvette.
days.
That's
And a
true.
Corvette.
Well, that's before he wins the $100,000 in the Corvette. But she never comes around. She
Not really.
says you can do it in the most passive aggressive way possible.
Even when she sits
I'm
down
not-
wearing the most matronly outfit you've ever seen in the
Yeah.
80s, and Miss Pie Woman's like, "Oh, he's such a nice boy," you know, she
And
still
her
is just
only
like,
response was, "And I'm Mark."
Yeah, she just came from her bus and trunk of the Scarlet Letter. She just
Mhm.
walked off of stage onto that stage, sat down with what looks like a Bible, but I'm guessing is her handbag, and never makes a
It looks like a
facial
Bible.
expression.
yeah, she is dressed very much like Mrs. White. She really is. I mean, and you know, it looks like the only fun she has is ironing in the basement of some place, or maybe in some steam room or something. I don't know where the hell she was at, where she was doing the ironing. I've never seen a basement look like that, and we really don't have basements in California. So I was just like,
Certainly not in Texas.
where is
We
this
know.
at?
Here's what we know about the geography of their house. They have a small C-shaped kitchen with a little dine-in and a giant garbage bag that he can
A
throw his sister
really
in.
weirdly
Just-
big trash can.
Yep. And then they have a weird room where she irons. They also have what might be a living room where he forges his mother's signature.
No, he doesn't.
Might be a
The
living room,
sister does.
might be a bedroom.
Right?
Hard
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. So 3 rooms.
Yeah, the
And a
sister
weird
forges.
raised porch. A
She
very
for-
high porch.
She forges it for the headphones.
She does forge it for the
I mean,
headphones.
he tried to do it. He failed. He forged her signature badly many times.
And,
Yeah.
and by the way, I love that this was before the PG-13 kicked in, because bullshit was thrown around so
Mhm.
much.
She said shit a bunch of times.
Yeah,
That little kid said shit a bunch of times.
yeah.
There were also male and female just nips everywhere.
Mhm.
Just side boobs and nips. Just
like Jennifer Aniston in the first season of Friends, just all
yeah.
over.
I mean, I had to remind myself that just because we're way more puritanical now, we were not in the
Mm-mm.
80s.
Not during the Reagan era. Nope.
Nope. We could do that shit. Side
And-
boob, nips,
And then we have Ray Walston,
tight pants.
who
Tight
basically looked like he just walked off the set of Fast Times at Ridgemont High to do this movie. Just being Ray Walston.
I mean, I will say this, and I made a note. Ray Walston was what was this character's name?
Oh boy.
Oh, what was his name? It
Ti-
was
Tillman? Tilson?
Tiller.
Tiller, something like that.
Tiller, I think.
It was Timmer, Mr. Timmer.
Timmer. He Academy Award winning level press, just really delivering.
The delivery
On
of the middle
that.
finger, yeah.
Yeah.
Not once,
Yeah.
but twice.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
just great at it.
I
real
loved
good.
his face between guy who hates that crew knocked off his donuts and coffee out of his hand, this face, to
Yeah.
I'm on crew's side, which is this face.
Yeah,
There's a
road
little
with-
bit. Yeah, I was gonna say there's a little bit over here.
kids. Yeah, he had that face that looked like it was a cross between George Bush Jr. and Clint Eastwood.
Can I
Also
talk about
for-
my? Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to tell the audience what this movie's about, because we haven't actually talked about that at all. We haven't mentioned bikes for more than about 3 seconds.
I actually got a story about this movie from my childhood also.
Wow. Well, no, the short version is this movie is about a boy who likes to ride BMX bikes, and he does it in wild and interesting ways. And he enters a bike tournament, and he does a good job. And Thunder in Your Heart plays.
And he defies the odds of a greedy salesman because he wants to have Burt Connors be the face of BMX bikes everywhere. But this kid, he's got thunder in his heart, and he's got moves like lightning.
His
so-
moves are like a lightning.
Still pissed. I will forever be pissed at this movie because Break the Ice is not the theme song. It's not the theme of the movie. That song is the theme of the movie, and it should be Break the Ice, which is a better song.
Oh boy, that's a tough call for me because I really like both of those songs. They're both
They're
really
great. They're
wild.
both great songs.
So before we get to my childhood story, two last things I want to touch on with this movie is one, he cheated during the trials.
No, he was
Is it
like, I
cheating,
can't get
though?
ahead. I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's
he took
cheating
side-
or not.
he's-
Yeah, but is it cheating?
Everyone was supposed to stay on the trail, and he took shortcuts.
Was that a rule? Ain't nothing
Yeah.
in the rule book says you gotta stay in the lines.
He purposely was like
I know.
coloring outside the lines, and I'm just like going, dude, you're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating.
I don't know.
I loved how slow those races were. Every bit was in slow motion.
Yeah, because
It took forever.
yeah, because Hell Track at least felt like a normal pace race.
I
when
know.
they did
Most
it.
of it was in slow motion too.
But when they were doing those other races, it was just like, we're gonna Zack Snyder slow-mo this shit.
it really was.
Before the story, I do want to mention my favorite character in this movie. Just for a little bit.
God, I hope it's that friend that we don't know who just starts showing up halfway through the movie.
The guy who gets out of the race, and then that one,
Oh,
or
you're talking about Lucas.
The one
No,
whose tire
I
gets
didn't
bent.
even know Lucas was in the race until he shows up with his bike tire broken, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
I was
he
like-
was
I was like, oh, some guy crashed.
not him. Bob the short order cook.
Bob the Blob.
Bob the Blob, because there's one line, and it's the best delivery I've maybe ever seen in a movie. When they're in the restaurant, they're showing the thing, the press conference,
Goodness.
set the news on, and he's sitting back, and the guy comes, and one of the guys comes around and grabs him and is like, he's on TV, he's on TV. Hey, did you see that Clue's on TV? And he's like,
Yeah.
I got eyes. I got eyes.
Guys.
It's just his delivery of I got eyes is perfect.
It's really
It's
very fun.
So throwaway.
Now, if we don't talk about this, this is the final thing I want to touch on with this. With Bike Boogie, the fact that when they are
Go
doing
back.
when they go to Bike Boogie, the lights in the gym go out, and then the lights come back on, and suddenly both Bert and Lori are sequined to death on their outfits. Glitter, glitter, glitter,
Cruise?
glitter, glitter.
Cruise sparkly pinstripes. I
Yes.
loved it.
He
And
wore
then-
those in, I think.
And then when the whole goddamn thing is over, which is just slow-mo stunt biking all over the place.
It's really slow stunt biking.
And she like gets up and makes this like, hey, I'm Lori L-shaped thing in the air.
Mhm.
And then when the whole thing is over, the lights come back on, they're back to their normal clothes.
They are.
It's like what is this, like a Frozen the musical level costume change that happened when the lights go out?
I liked it. My big question, and I kept asking Roy this when they were doing their slow-mo stunts, I kept saying, is that hard? I honestly don't know if it's hard to do those things.
Well, I mean, and is it impressive? Because when he was trying to impress that one girl by doing that annoying thing with the hopping on the table, look, you like this, don't you? Huh? You like
hopping
this?
and humping his bike.
Why did everybody in that high school look like they walked off the set of Knots Landing? They all look
They
like they're
really did.
45 years old. Every single person in that high school was they were older than me. I'll tell you that.
They were old.
Yeah.
The one thing I do want to say that we cannot leave this without talking about
Can't live it alone.
Okay.
is before the race, before Hell Track starts, I need to hear your guys' take on the wall of chefs, but it's BMX bikes that happens
Oh man.
right before.
Oh,
I
you had
swear to God, there are 3 dudes in that scene. They just keep repeating the same 3 guys.
It's the most Canadian thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
From
Courtney the whole
Canada.
time is
Some
going-
dude.
Courtney the whole time is like, are they real? Are these real people?
And they are. Those are real bikers. That's why none of them could be like,
Yeah, they're just like, hey, what's that? Yeah, what's that? What's that?
yeah. So that was interesting. There's only 45 of them, I guess, that they were going to tell us about.
I swear to God, it was the same three dudes that they just kept cycling. I swear to you.
It was the twins, Bart, Clue, and then one guy that they just put in a different helmet and just kept
just
cycle through.
And then it's Crew. And then it's Canada's Own.
Yeah. Just made up names
From
of bike parts.
Alabama.
I love how, to make the guy from Texas look like he was from Texas, that they gave him a fucking mullet.
It's
Yeah.
probably true.
He had a bad blonde mustache that was the same color of his skin and a mullet.
Fucking mullet. Like, from
Skin
the
colored
heart of
mustache
Texas.
is wild.
All right,
I
tell us your
also-
story. I want to hear
All
your
right.
story.
I want to hear your story.
So, when
Wait,
this
hang on. I can. Okay.
when this movie came out,
Just as an underscore. This is just for you.
so when this movie came out, I had a childhood friend. His name was Kerry, and he was obsessed with BMX biking, like on the same level as Crew in this movie. So this movie came out the same weekend as his birthday. So he was like, "Mom, I want a BMX birthday party. And part of my birthday party is I want me and my friends to go see Rad." So sure enough, so they drop us off at the theater. We're all in the theater watching Rad, and then we go back to his house for cake and ice cream. And when we arrive at his house, he has his very own BMX bike waiting for him. He flips out. He's super excited. Gets on the bike. Immediately tries doing one of the backflip stunts in the movie. Lands on the ground and is rushed to the hospital because he broke his arm on his birthday.
Good. I guess that answers your question about are they easy or not.
The flip is not easy.
No.
But like the thing where you're bouncing on the front tire and you're just like sort of humping the bike, maybe that's easy. I don't know.
Here's
Do that with the bike. And when he would ride because he didn't live that far from school, so he'd ride the bike and he would do that, and he would like try to do all the stunts. So that's why I was giggling so hard during the opening credits, because I saw my friend Carrie
You're like, "Here's my
doing that
friend."
same shit in the schoolyard when I was growing up.
30 years later, that man moved to Ohio, bought tickets to go see Rad, and then sat next to me in the theater.
That guy.
God, here's my theater experience.
Yes.
The entire movie theater is packed. Not just my theater, the entire theater on what I've come to call Divorce Dad Thursday, because
like
you
it.
had Rad and then you had Ghostbusters, and it was everybody's dad and kids going to eat one of the two things, apparently. I see a guy as I'm coming in, and he's wearing the Mongoose jersey. Bart's Mongoose jersey. He has it.
Wow. He likes the bad guy?
And I'm like, I wonder where this guy's going. And we get into the theater, and I mean, it is full. It is a full theater of people. And of course, I'm like, because I'm me and I'm mentally ill, I was the first person in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
These people sit directly next to us. Like I am shoulder to shoulder with this man in his Mongoose jersey.
And so you got a Christmas present early.
And then he starts talking to me because I know this movie and I can speak to it. Why is this coming out now?
That's what
Right?
we kept asking, because isn't it like the 36th or 38th?
So it isn't the release of the movie. It's the anniversary of something with it. And I don't know what it is, but there's an anniversary, and I'm like, I saw it before. I don't know what it is, and we're just talking back and forth. You know, I'm telling him that you can go to Walmart right now and buy the Mondo Steelbook for $25, which is absolutely worth it. Like, and we're just talking back and forth. He is super into this movie. His wife is like, I can't believe I'm fucking here. We watch this movie like once a week in my house. I don't understand. Like, my children refused to come. Like, they will not come. Like, we tried to buy them tickets. They were like, absolutely not. We are not going
God
to this.
embarrasses
Not
us
doing
with
this.
Rad.
So we're watching this movie, and he is commenting like under his breath throughout the film about the bike tricks, about the different things all through it, until We get to Bike Boogie. Our audio mix was messed up.
Oh no.
And the music was as low as it was lower. The music mix was lower than like the vocal tracks. And this man, probably roughly my age man, was losing his shit vocally and very loudly about how badly it sucks that he can't hear Mr. Mister as loud as he wants while Laurie and Clue do their bike dance in their shimmery, shiny, and this is a big dude,
Oh my
like blue
God.
collar, like work boots man.
This is not a
very-
man who does BMX biking.
No, he might have in his
Once upon a
past.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the backflip and broke his arm on his birthday.
Just this fucking sucks. This sucks. I can't believe this shit. Like loudly.
Oh my God.
Like this is, and I think at one point, and I'm not making this up, I'm trying to remember exactly what he says. I believe the exact quote is, "This is supposed to be a fucking beautiful moment."
That's the best thing I've ever heard, Andrew.
And you know how, like, because we go to Cinemark, so you know how they have
Oh
the
my
reclining
God.
seats. Everybody has their own like recliner. Everybody's reclined back. During his rant, he is slowly coming up to a full 90-degree position and continues to lean forward and then look back at the projection booth, which is, we're in the back row. The projection booth is like back here, and he's leaning forward and looking up while he's saying his things.
Oh my God.
What's wrong?
Lord.
What's wrong with this?
Oh my God.
And I am losing my shit. I'm like, this is no, exactly. Like, he's just like,
Oh my God.
and I'm like, this is
Ugh.
how is this happening? And then when the movie
That
ends,
is
everybody,
a much better experience than we had. Oh.
and then
Hey, no, we've got some guests coming on the show. So we'll get to that in a minute.
I so badly wanted to ask him to be on the show because at the end he starts like an ovation. So he starts the clap and everybody has to clap at the end of the movie.
Was he crying?
And the whole
at the end?
108 people are like, as people are getting up to leave.
Shout out to Ohio.
So
Wow, Ohio loves this movie.
I did have to come back and watch it again just to make sure, because I did have his commentary going in my ear the whole time.
So you
I
had to go
come
back and watch the boogie to make sure it was actually a fucking beautiful moment.
Yeah. One other thing,
Yeah, go for it.
and this is coming from Lacey as much as it is me.
Producer Lacey.
When did we figure out that Kathy and tall friend were together?
Absolutely instantly.
Yeah.
See, I did not.
Right away, I knew they were boyfriend.
I thought it was two
girlfriend.
dating people and their friend.
See, I did not get that. I'll be honest. The first time I watched it, at 3/4 the movie, I didn't even know that was supposed to be a girl.
Either that or he's her beard.
Tomboys are allowed to have agency in this world.
Listen, it's fine. I'm not drawing a line on anybody's identity here. I just thought it was another person riding bikes. I didn't. All of these people were so ambiguous that I didn't know what was going on. Most of them we don't see without helmets on the whole time.
Are
No,
you
both of
trying
them-
to
both-
suggest that there was not proper character development in this film?
You know,
Both of them were getting strange with each other.
don't
They
start
were
with the
ass
strange
sliding
thing.
for sure. They were ass sliding
Is ass
all the
sliding-
day long.
Does ass slide exist outside of this movie, or was it specifically?
Absolutely not.
No.
Maybe in Canada. Hey, Canadians, listen, if you're Canadian,
You got log shoes.
I wish I was sliding with you right now.
at this film sexist.
Oh,
I wasn't
my
paying
God.
attention to anything. I didn't even know it was her that bought the shirt in the store, which was a weird scene, by the way. That was a really strange scene. I don't know why it was in the movie if it wasn't to tell me that she was dating the guy, which I just figured out later because she's wearing
That
the
was
shirt
the
like her.
only purpose that movie had for those who didn't figure it out. It's like, hey, they're dating. Okay, now let's move on.
Because the two bitches come in and they're like, the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And it's
It's like
about
they're
a 25
fashion.
second scene.
Fashion.
So anyway, yes.
Oh.
Everybody should watch this movie at least 3
Yes.
times.
I was going to say,
and-
we recommend this movie.
On the way out, there were the two extremely high guys apologized. Sorry if we were too loud. We were like, you weren't loud at all. It was totally fine. We were talking ourselves, and something came up. It said something about us being podcasters, and they were like, oh, snap, we're going to listen. We're going to come on the show. Okay, bye. Did not catch our names. We didn't catch their names. They don't know the name of the podcast. But if you're listening.
So if you're listening,
Two
let us
guys.
know.
Two guys that got real high at the Grapevine Mills Rad.
So, I think it's safe to say we recommend this movie.
Loved it.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Love this movie.
Yeah.
There
it's a
is
cult.
thunder
It's
in
a
my
cult
heart.
film. It's a cult film for a reason, and it is on Tubi for those who want to watch it before you buy it. It is on Tubi,
Buy it.
but
Shut
just
up and
go
buy
out.
it.
Yeah, just go out and buy
Walmart.
it.
End cap. Buy it.
She's playing thunder in your heart. So is this going to take?
You got
place-
lightning in your what do you have lightning in?
Your moves are like lightning.
Lightning.
Your moves
moves
are like
are
lightning.
Lightning.
Is this going to replace the Shambhala theme for you?
God, no.
Or-
No.
This is my version.
No.
This is my version of Whose Land Is This? That's what Thunder in Your Heart is. Speaking of getting strange, and that
gosh, are we
being
getting
having
strange?
sex,
No.
I am a
having
married
sex with
slowly.
strangers, which apparently they don't know in this whole thing because they play it during Uncle Tickle's chase scene. Roy, what movies are we going to be doing in our repertory?
Yeah.
Tournament of Champions.
We're doing something that we've never done before on this show. We're getting serious with documentaries on this show, and
They're gone.
and the thing is that we're not like doing just bizarro what the fuck.
Yes, big hat.
My documentary hat when I have to get.
We're actually doing like some biggies.
signed
Now
your hat.
I will let you know that my documentary I originally chose, I said no to because I actually started watching it, and the reenactments of the child cannibalism sequences, I really
They
pressed
reenacted? What in the world is this
Yeah.
documentary?
So I went.
What
yeah,
was it?
No.
Oh
It
my
was.
god!
Pick it up on my phone real quick on the Tubi app. So yeah, I immediately vetoed it and said, "No, we are not doing this one."
Yikes.
Hold on, real quick. So, come on, Tubi. I don't care about your logo.
In the meantime, Andy, what are you doing for your documentary? Remind us.
Oh, I'm doing The Aristocrats.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I love it.
nothing more needs to be said about it.
No, we know. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you
Yeah.
should probably go watch that by now.
Oh, mine
Yeah.
was originally going to be Albert Fish in Sin. He found Foundation Salvation,
right.
which was about the Depression era serial killer who
Yeah.
would capture children and eat them.
right.
I was like, I was
Look.
not ready for reenactments.
You know,
Sure.
for kids.
Yeah. So we're doing The Aristocrats, which is probably the less serious of the three that we're doing.
It is.
Sure.
Courtney, which one did you choose?
Mine, I refuse to tell you much about it because I want you to go in as blind as possible. But this is called The Woman Who Wasn't There. And it is kind of true crime, but it's really more just sort of a wild story than anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there. Oh, hello, train.
Yeah. Welcome to. This is what happens when I'm on an actual mic. There's a train that runs
Oh
by
my-
my house.
Wow.
I loved it. It felt very salt of the earth.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
there's thunder
Ohio.
in my heart. I go ass sliding
Your
beside that
moves-
train.
Your moves are like a lightning.
Yeah.
A lightning.
So there was a reason why I asked if both of you had Max, is because the documentary I chose is not on Tubi, but it is on Max, and it takes us back to a very special bygone era in the '90s of late night television infomercials, and probably one of the most famous and infamous ones ever made. My choice is Call Me Now, The Rise and Fall of Miss
Oh
Queen.
shit.
I love this
Yeah, this is good.
documentary.
This is
So,
good.
We're
This is
doing-
very good.
We're doing the Miss Cleo documentary.
I'm
Now-
so excited. We've got it. We did full circle. We got all the kinds of documentary.
We did. There's no
So-
other documentaries.
It's
watched
nuts.
So- Bash Brothers?
We got the
Why
true
true crime now?
we got true crime, we've got the comedy, and we've got the nostalgia time period, what really happened. But that's not all we're doing.
Oh yeah, we gotta book it. We got a hard out on one of our boys here, so let's hit it.
Spin it.
So because of
That.
some stuff that's coming up with me this summer, we're going to be doing a lot of what I call pre-bagging of episodes.
What's
I-
bonefish?
I'm-
Your protein is bonefish?
So
You gotta use a spiralizer.
we are going to go ahead and choose our 3 revisits for July right now. So just to remind you guys and the audience what our 3 choices were. The finalists are Aline, Hentai Cayman, Can't Stop the Music, Rats, Night of Terror,
yes.
Popeye the Movie, the Star Wars Holiday Special, Bad Ben,
Yes.
Mother Goose Rock and Rhyme,
Seems bad.
Dr. Caligari, The Good Exorcist, The Curve, Honky,
No.
The Vampire Happening, The Terror of Tiny Town,
Oh my god.
Dot and the Kangaroo, The
now a
Room,
musical, by the way.
The Room, Cop Rock, Evil Speak, and Spider Baby.
Spider.
So we're going to be doing 3 choices here.
What are the odds that I've seen any of them? I wonder what that. Who's good at math? Not now. We don't have time for that.
Alrighty, here we go. Spinning movie number 1.
I paid the Russians a lot of money to fix this for Bad Ben, so God, I hope it works.
By the way, I just got a pop-up saying that I need to go and get some bone broth that has no carrageenan in it. Movie number 1 is The Room.
Hey, I've never seen it. That'll be
Really?
fun. Just legitimately,
I thought
I've
I
never
was the
seen
only one that had never seen it
it.
until
No,
I saw
somehow,
it.
somehow I missed it. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
All right, so movie number 1 is The Room. Here we go with movie number 2. Spinning. And now it's telling me that I can get free next day delivery at over 98% of the United States.
Okay.
Where can
Our
you
second movie is Can't Stop the Music.
Hey! I've seen
All
most
right.
of that.
So
I
far,
started at
so
like 11.
so far, so good.
We're doing okay. This is honestly fine so far.
We're doing okay so far. All right, here we go. God, the third movie is. And now I've got a advertisement for Ashley, and oh Jesus Christ.
Oh no.
Courtney, it's Hentai Cayman.
Oh God.
I'll
It's
tell
ha-
Franco. I'll tell
it's-
Franco and Jeremy.
Get
It's
him on
hun-
board. Get him on the phone.
So our 3 God, what a combo. Our 3 films that we are revisiting are The Room, Can't Stop the Music, and Hentai Cayman. For those who have been with us for a long time, you probably remember how Andy and I reacted to Hentai Cayman. And oh, Franco, by the way, throughout all Alcon was to us like, there's a sequel, right?
He
Oh,
kept
God.
saying it. I was like, no, I didn't. Because this isn't anything. You made this movie up.
So
I just texted them both.
oh,
I can't tell who's texted. There's already 3 dots. I can't tell who it is. Yes, all capitals. That's Franco.
Yeah, it would be. He's been waiting for this. He's been waiting for this. He's just been sitting in a dark room with a phone, just waiting. No matter how long it took, he was just gonna wait until the call came.
It came. He's ready.
Yeah,
he's
he's ready.
opening up a closet that's got all kinds of wild cosplays that I don't know what they're from.
Yeah, eye
They're all-
patches. So
they're
many
all
eye
wet.
patches.
They're well made, and I'm like, that looks really cool. I don't know what it is though.
Courtney, there's nothing I can do to prepare you for
No.
Hentai Cayman. Nothing.
No.
Well, there's nothing I can do to prepare you for The Room or Can't Stop the Music either. There's nothing to prepare you for these 3 movies. The difference is one
Two of them, at least, I have an idea of what I'm in for.
One of them is
Yeah.
not going to scar you, and I'll give you a hint. It's the musical one between the 3. Because The Room and Hentai Cayman are going to scar you. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's our episode, folks, and that's going to be our revisit. So you have that to look forward to in July there. Next month, we are doing documentaries.
Highbrow month.
And then May,
Right.
we're doing our first ever miniseries.
Are you going to tell us what it is yet?
Should I?
Tell us.
Do you want to know?
Tell us. Tell
I'm
tell
doing my
us.
fastest blinks for you.
Well,
Thornbirds.
Thornbird.
Thornbird. The
real quick.
Stand.
Original Shogun.
Real quick before I decide to tell you if I'm going to tell you if we're going to do that or not, I did make a message today to you guys telling you that I stumbled upon a movie that was a straight to home video movie in the 90s, in 1990 to be exact.
Oh, you did text us this.
That stars Sean Astin.
Who's my best friend?
And I didn't know that this movie existed until now. So we're also doing this in May.
Oh,
The movie is called The Willies. And it's about kids that are camping who are trying to tell stories that will scare the willies out of them.
Okay. Alright.
At least that's what I gathered from the trailer. And I'm going to let you know, Sean Astin looks like he came straight off the set of Rudy to make this movie.
I mean,
So-
sold.
Right.
So-
Okay, cool. Done.
Sure, I'll tell
Do
you
I
what.
need to watch it tonight? All right. Sweet.
I'll let you guys know what the miniseries is. So the miniseries
on.
that we're doing
Something good, please.
is a miniseries that came from 1986,
So the year of
Okay.
Rad.
and it was on for 5 nights,
Okay.
and they wanted this to be a huge hit. For the time, it was a big budgeted, all-star cast miniseries, but it bombed because people didn't get what it was supposed to be when they laid it out clearly what this was supposed to be. And that was supposed to, then that is that this was a parody of primetime soap operas. So Falcon Crest, Dallas, Dynasty, and Knots Landing were all made fun of with this miniseries. The miniseries is called Fresno, and Fresno is about the highs and lows of the rich and famous in Fresno, California, who run the raisin plantations. Starring, are you ready?
Sure.
I already have 30 questions, but sure, go ahead.
Starring Carol Burnett, Dabney Coleman, Terry Garr, Charles Grodin, and Gregory Harrison. Carol Burnett plays the like stern, a little bit evil, and a little bit cold matriarch of the family, a la Falcon Crest. Dabney Coleman plays the kind of racist, kind of sexist, egotistical man out a la Dynasty that's in charge of everything. Terry Garr is the hoe, a la Alexis from Dynasty. And Charles Grodin is in total J.R. Ewing mode.
Okay.
This film, or this miniseries, like I said, bombed hardcore. The miniseries also stars Bill Paxton,
Okay.
Jerry Van Dyke, Michael Richards, Tom Poston, and unfortunately Jeffrey Jones.
Okay.
Someone has uploaded the entire thing onto YouTube, switched into a 4.5-hour film, free of commercials and everything. The very first night, U.S. viewers, it had 19.7 million viewers. The very next night, they lost 1/3 of the viewers. No one tuned in for the second half. The episodes don't even have names, except for the very first episode, which was called The Raisin Basket of the World. The guy who directed this, his name is Jeff Blecker. He also helped
The
write
Jeff
it.
Blecker?
Jeff Blecker.
Of Blecker Street Pictures?
He did a lot of Broadway and off-Broadway stuff, but his directing credits for television were Dynasty, Knots Landing, Trapper John M.D., Lou Grant, Welcome Back Carter, Hill Street Blues, Remington Steele, and The Stockard Channing Show.
Why aren't we watching the Stockard Channing show?
Yeah, today I found out that the Stockard Channing show is a thing that exists.
He is a Emmy Award-winning director for a limited series or special called Concealed Enemies. He's also won an Emmy Award for directing for Hill Street Blues, and he's also won a number of Tony Awards.
Okay. I'm down.
All right.
I'll
I'm
watch
into
anything. I've proven that.
But
Listen, we got a hard out from like a half hour ago. So we should probably let our boy get out of here.
So yeah, that's our miniseries, is Fresno. So get ready for the magic that is the highs and lows and the power of the Fresno, California raisin empire.
Okay.
I'm just gonna save them. I'm gonna save my questions. for
Yeah.
May.
Yeah, we've got so many, but we got months
Yeah.
to come up
2
with
months
more.
for me to come up with more questions.
All right, gang. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and we will be back with our documentaries next month.
Yes! Hi, Brahma!
Talk to y'all later.
Bye! You're still recording! Why?